So dear learners, in this particular video we will be discussing about the software engineering fundamentals. So here especially we will focus on the software engineering fundamentals which are applicable to all types of software systems. Okay, so there are some fundamental principles that we need to apply for all types of software system here. See, for example, say in our already in previous videos that we have already discussed, either that software may be a system software or application software, and in turn once again within that application software we have discussed around 8 different types of application softwares like standalone software or web based application, that's transaction based applications, okay, information based applications, okay, embedded systems, okay. So like that we will come across a variety of different types of software systems, but irrespective of the type of the software system we need to apply some fundamental principles which are common and essential for all the softwares. So that we are going to discuss right now. Okay, in that the very first one is, just have a look at over here. The system should be developed using a managed and understood development process. That's very important. Okay, so anyway, in the coming videos we will be discussing about the software engineering process. So even in our last video we have already discussed about different software process activities. So there are 4 activities that we have already identified in developing any software. One is what you call that requirement specification, that is software specification, then software design and development, software validation, okay, then software maintenance. Okay, so when we are doing this all these activities in case of this development process is concerned, what he suggests here is we have to manage as well as we have to understand in a thorough way which one is the best suitable process for this particular software development. Okay, and anyway there are variety of different processes are available for different types of software. That is the main job of the developers or the engineers or the developers who are involved in the design and development of that particular software. So we need to select which is the best suitable process, which is the best suitable architecture, which is best suitable model, everything that we need to select here. Okay, that's very important. And the second principle that we need to adopt here is dependability and performance are important for all types of systems. And always do remember one thing, software engineering is concerned with the quality software development. See, we are not simply developing a software, we are developing a quality software. Okay, so when I am talking about the quality as an important attribute, okay, when I will say that my quality of the software is high, the very important thing is it should always consists of this dependability that we have already discussed. It's a one of the very important attribute of a good software. Okay, and this dependability it always comes with once again 4 different characteristics or attributes over here. That is nothing but the availability, reliability, security and safety. It means that my software should be always available for the end user, my software should be always reliable, means it should give always a proper and correct services and functionalities and outputs to my customers or end users, and it should be always safe and secured. That's very important. And at the same time another important thing is performance. See, performance is the most important aspect here. Okay, if your software is not going to perform in terms of as a part of efficiency is concerned, with respect to the speed, with respect to the memory, all these different factors, okay, we have to look into that the performance of the software should be very high. Otherwise once again the end users may reject your software. So that's the reason that we need to apply this particular principle, that is dependability and performance, that we need to look into this. Okay, then we will move on to the third one, that is understanding and managing the software specification and requirements. So see there, in our software process activities are concerned, our first activity is what? Software specification. Software specification is nothing but what? Collecting and defining the requirements. Collecting and defining the requirements are nothing but what? Look at there, what software should do, means for what purpose we are developing a software, what services are expected by what? My software, what functionalities that the software should provide to the end user, they comes under what? Software specification or what? Requirements. So here what it says that we have to have a better understanding and managing. Okay, because see there, requirement specification is the very first stage of the software engineering while building the software. If you do or if we commit any mistake in the requirement specification, the same mistake will be carried forward to the design, the same thing will be carried forwarded to the what? In the development stage, and even while performing the testing also the mistake will go ahead, and finally when it will reach to the customer, then we will come to know that yes, we have done the mistake while defining the requirement. Okay, if we found that at the end stage, just have a look at here, it's a very common sense. Okay, we have to change my requirement. If I change my requirement, I have to change my design. If I change my design, I have to change my coding. If I change my coding, I have to once again perform what? A testing on that software. So it's a very most costliest process. So that is why always the principle says that okay, you should have a better understanding, and also what? You should have a better manage. Why? Because requirements will always flexible and it will be always go on changing. Requirements will be always volatile. Most of the volatile in the sense what? Frequently the requirements will be changing. So we need to manage that requirements. Okay. Then the last point is where appropriate, you should reuse the software that has already been developed rather than what? Write the new software. So in current IT industry, so this is very popularly which is happening, because today it is highly impossible to develop every software from the scratch level, means from the beginning it's not possible. Okay, today if you are developing one software using a very basic language, that is C language, we cannot start writing every program with hash include. It's not possible there, because today most of the components that I am planning to use in my software, they are already readily available. Okay, when it is readily available, once again why I need to design and develop? I can take it as a ready-made, because which is already existing. Then I will integrate that one with what? My new another part of what? The software. That is called as what? Software reusability. And even it's a very most popular and most important concept under our software engineering, that we will discuss it later. There is a separate software process model called reusable software development. Okay, so that we will discuss it later. Clear? So finally what I want to say that whenever you want to develop any software, it should be having a high quality. Okay, and it should be a cost effective, and the time should be less, it should be taken. Okay, that's a fast delivery, and also its maintenance should be always what? Easy. That we have already discussed regarding the attributes of what? The good software. And apart from that, just whenever I am talking about a software and system, because we have already discussed some difference between software engineering and system engineering is concerned. Basically just try to understand here, software is not so easy to maintain. Okay, we may feel that what is there in that software, it's a very what you say, for example, so when I am going to compare a software with any system engineering means I have already told it's a combination of both software plus what? Hardware and its operation. So it means that an overall hardware configuration or the arrangement is going to controlled by what? The software. Okay, and for which it involves the human being intervention, its operation, procedure, policies will be there. Okay, for example, say imagine today you are going to build one big what you call mobile tower in some particular place. Okay, controlled by some software. Okay, it's the one system engineering process. So after building that big tower, later you will come to know that no, this is the wrong place. So can you simply go and shift that? It is not possible. But whereas software, that you can manage it, but still when you compare with the other engineering discipline, software engineering is also not so easy. It's not so simple. Okay, why? Because the very main reason is, just do remember, software is intangible. Software is what? Intangible. You cannot go and touch the software. It is invisible. There is no physical existence for the software. You only see there. See, when I am talking about the civil engineering, when I am going to when I am going to build any building or any bridge or something else, that I can go and see. Okay, it will be there in real time, and we can observe, and we can say that what is happening with that. But that is not possible with my software. Why? Because when I am going to install any software in my system, I cannot go and see that software. What is happened to the software, where the bugs are there, where the problems have been occurring, and it's not so easy. It's also very difficult in its own way. Okay, so for that purpose only, keeping all these things in our mind, we have to apply all these what you call principles that we need to apply to build what, a high quality software. Okay, thank you.